Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to my tutorial for Premiere Pro. We're going to be learning some basic video editing in this tutorial. And every effect you see in this video, every cut, every text that pops up, every zoom effect, time manipulation, I'm going to show you how to do those in this video. This video will be made with no other knowledge than what I will be teaching you now. Let's get started.
When you open Premiere Pro, you're going to get a screen somewhat like this. We're going to click New Project. When we click New Project, most of what's really important is going to be up here on the top left. We have to give it a project name, and we have to say where we want it to be. I'm going to call it Project 1, and I've already picked my location. If we wanted to use some of the sample footage that they included for tutorials, they're right here. We could also navigate to where our videos are and add our videos that way. I'm going to add the videos once I'm in my project. Bottom right, I'm going to click Create. This might take a moment, but then it'll drop us into a view like this. If your view doesn't look like this, you can go up to click Window, Workspace, and Captions and Graphics. Next, it's time to import our media. I'm going to navigate to the folder where I have my media, and then I'm going to drag it in. I want to drag it into the bottom left box that says Import Media to start. Here we can see the first shot for each one of the videos. The next step is to pick the first video. I'm going to check to make sure it works by going up here and clicking Source, and then dragging the video in. This is its own little mini editor. Down here we have the play button, so I can hit play. I have the go back to the beginning, and I have a tool to say what is the beginning and what is the end. I'm going to scrub the video, which means to click and drag. This looks like one that I might want to use. Scrub around a little bit, and that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to click Mark In. That says this is where I want this clip to begin. I don't really need all this dead space. And then I'll scrub to the end of where I stopped talking. Right there. And I will click Mark Out. Once I've done that, I can then drag my clip over into the sequence. Notice when I drag the clip into the sequence that it starts where the marked in was. It doesn't start at the beginning of the clip. And if I hit play, I can see my video. The first step is to do the rough cut for all of your video. That is when you mark your in and your out really close to where you want it and drag your clips into approximately the right order in the rest of your timeline. I'm going to do that now. You can see that I have now added more than one clip. And if we position our playhead near the end of one clip and before the beginning of the other and hit play, when you open Premiere, it makes a simple switch between the two of them. That is our simple cut. But if I want to do a more flashy cut between two scenes, I can come up, I can click Window, Workspace, and then Effects. Coming over to the right, we can see that we have some effects, and the ones we care about are video transitions. If you can't see it, you can click this drop-down menu, and then I'm going to click one of the dissolves. I'm going to click Cross Dissolve. I'm going to click and drag it out onto my workspace, but I'm not going to let go right away. I can choose to have it dissolve out just the end of one clip, dissolve in just the beginning of the other clip, or I can have it dissolve between the two of them by positioning it right on the edit line. When I let go, I'll position my playhead and let it play to see what that looks like.
Started.
When you open Premiere Pro, neat. It dissolved from one clip to the other. While editing this video, I noticed I made a mistake while recording. The audio for the section does not match the video that I want to show. The video is showing a mistake. However, I continued to record afterwards, and I got a piece of video clip that makes a lot more sense right there. This is going to give me the opportunity to show you a J or an L cut. Since a J and an L cut is a type of cut, I need to use my razor tool to end this bit of this clip. Position my playhead to where I want it to be cut, and then come up here, grab the razor tool, and then click on the line that the playhead made. I clicked the video as well as the audio track. That means that these are now split, and if I grab the selection tool, I can move them around and change their position. While recording, I made a mistake, and to correct it is a great time to show you the J or L cut. Right here, I have the audio saying exactly what I want to have happen in the tutorial. Down here, I have the audio I want to use. Up over here is where I have the video I want to use. I want this audio with this video without desynchronizing the two so that the video can continue to play and will make sense. The first step is to make a cut, and we're going to use the razor tool to do that. I'm going to cut here. Now that these two video clips are, once these two video clips are cut apart, I can unlink the audio and video. This will allow them to move independently. However, I don't want to move them just by moving this one over, because if I move this over, it will no longer line up. Instead, the way I'll do my cut is I will first remove the audio that I don't need. And then I will relink the two. And then slide them so that they overlap. As you can see, when I scrub the playhead, we can see the video is only showing the one that's on top, but the audio is what's going to be playing down below. The shape of how this audio cuts in is kind of like an L, so that's why this is called an L cut. I want to include an image as a joke and as well as to indicate to my viewer that some time has passed. I have downloaded an image I found online, and I'm going to drag it into my project folder. Once it's in there, I can drag it out onto my timeline, and I can choose, do I want it to be on the same layer as my video, or do I want it to be above it? If I want video to be playing at the same time as my image, I probably want it to be above so that the video can continue playing below. However, since I won't have any video playing at this time, I'm going to put it on the same spot. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit by clicking the end and seeing how long it is now. Looking pretty good. A problem with my image, however, is that it doesn't fill the frame. If I click the image that on the timeline, and then I come over here, come up here and click on Effects Control. If you don't see anything, ensure that your clip is selected. Now we have some basic editing options. We can adjust the position of our image. We can also adjust the size. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust my scale until it fills my image. If needed to, we could also rotate our image and change its opacity so it would blend in a bit to whatever is behind it, or in this case, on the layer below. Now that my image is in, I can continue with the next step of my edit. One of the ideas I had for this video is I would make a title card, and a title card is the thing that says, this is what you're watching. With that in mind, I recorded a couple clips of me starting with a defocused shot and then bringing the focus in. I want these to be about 2 seconds long, so this is an excellent way for me to demonstrate the time warp. We're going to click on the clip, and then we're going to right-click the clip. Then we can go up to speed duration. Since I want this to last about 2 seconds, I'm going to click duration. It is seconds is the second one right here. So I'm going to type in 2, and I don't need anything else. Notice when I click off of that, it changes the speed to be 206%. If I just wanted to speed my clip up and make it 500% faster, I could type that there. But if I have a very specific length of time I want to fill, this duration tool is so useful. In fact, almost all of the time warps I use are set using the duration. And then I'm going to say OK. You'll see that the clip got a bit smaller. You can preview the clip. Looks great. Next thing I want to do with this clip is I want to add some audio to it. I can then drag out my audio and line it up and see how it sounds. That looks pretty good. I can cut out the extra bit of the audio using the cut tool and then remove the rest of it. Let's see how it looks now. To add text, I can come up to this T tool. I want to position my playhead about where I want that text to appear. I want to appear right when the focus is coming in, and then click where you want your text. Once you start typing your text, you'll notice that there are a bunch of more options that pop up over here on the right. I want to make it be larger. I'm going to click and drag my size here. To reposition it, I can use the selection tool and I can position it. My text is going to exist longer than I need it to. If I want to exist longer, I could click and drag it towards the right. It'll be longer, but I want it to end with the rest of the clip I'm making. Let's see how that looks. The last thing I need to do is I need to give credit for anyone else's work I used in the video. And even though the title card didn't make it into the final cut, me editing it did. So I'm going to give credit to that. To do that, I'm going to scroll to about where I want to put in my final audio, and I'm going to come up to Essential Graphics and Browse. Here's a bunch of cool, ready-to-go graphics that we can use. I don't need anything flashy, so I'm just going to come in and grab one of the texts. I drag this in just like any other clip, and I can position it so that it's going to play as soon as it's done. All right, I've got them nice and butted against each other. Edit the text, I come up and I can double click the text, and I can give credit to where I got the music. When I'm done editing the text, I can hit the escape key and it will take me out of that editing tool. Before I render this out, it's very important to watch through your video one more time to ensure that everything is exactly how you want it. If you're satisfied with it, you can go up to File, Export, and Media. This will take us to the Render tab, and this is how we're going to render out our final video for viewing. There is a whole bunch of options here, such as our file name, where we would like it to be rendered out to. We can use a pre-source. I'm going to suggest you use match source. There are a whole bunch of other options here that we don't really need to worry about. Then we're going to click export. This is going to take a while. The longer the video, or the larger the video files, or the more complex your edit with lots of special effects, graphics, text, moving images, the longer this will take. When you're done, you will have your final video file. In this tutorial, we learned how to make simple cuts as well as use some transitions. We also made a J or L cut. We added a picture. We zoomed and repositioned that picture. We added text, music, or a voiceover, as well as use the time warp tool. Notice all the edits in my final cut right here. That's a lot of edits. So you can imagine that as these videos get longer, it takes longer and longer to make them. Thank you for watching and good luck on your project.